The top focus story for today, of course, is coming in from Karnataka. The Karnataka Milk Federation has now reached out to the Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanams amid the Laddu Row that has taken Karnataka by storm. The KMF has now changed its tune and says it seeks an appointment to discuss the supply of Nandini ghee for the preparation of the Laddus. As opposed to earlier this week, when the Federation claimed that it would no longer supply ghee to the TTD due to the competitive prices. The issue has now taken a political turn, of course, after the BJP blamed the ruling Congress here for discontinuation of the supply of ghee to the temple. And then even accused the Congress government of stopping the supply of ghee due to its policy of indifference towards a particular religious place or community. The Karnataka cabinet back in July had cleared the proposal by the KMF to hike the price of Nandini, and that was by 3 rupees a litre, and the new prices came into effect from the 1st of August. Now, overall, the controversy has been going on. The latest development is the letter, but the contents of these letter is also something that's very interesting. To talk us through more details, my colleague Neha is also joining us live. We also have a panel of guests who will be, of course, here to discuss more about this. Quickly, Neha, if you could take us through, what this letter exactly cites and, what are the big takeaways?
Well, yes, Deepak, we're seeing now that, after the entire controversy erupted, that the KMF, in fact, is going out to, reach out to the TTD over here, requesting them to allow, the supply of Nandini ghee to the temple for laddus to be made. Of course, this really now brings a big question mark about what exactly, went on, because we saw the politics playing behind this. We saw how the BJP and the Congress had accused each other, of course, the price hike of Nandini being the reason why. And then we saw the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, in fact, coming out there and saying that it was during the BJP tenure that this was stopped. So as far as, TTD and KMF are concerned, yes, while KMF has made an outreach over here to the TTD to allow them to supply Nandini ghee, how the TTD now responds, well, that's something that, of course, we'll really have to watch out for. We already saw an ugly spat as well, between, of course, the KMF and the TTD and how that had panned out. Whether TTD now permits this or not, well, that's something that we'll have to keep an eye out for.
Right, Neha, thank you for that quick update there. Prashant GS of the BJP with us, Aishwarya Mahadev from the Congress as well with us. We're expecting also Mr. Bhima Nayak from the KMF to join us very shortly. We'll keep our viewers posted as he, of course, gets set to join us. Quickly, let me take this across right now to Aishwarya. Aishwarya, it's an interesting situation. The BJP, of course, has been making multiple charges. They're saying the Congress has been anti-Hindu. That's where the ghee supply stopped. They're saying the price hike is the reason. You, of course, had your rebuttals. But it's an interesting letter that the KMF writes today. They're saying that we request you to provide the date and time for this meeting in which we could arrive at a mutual understanding about the rates and supplies. They're also here saying that this particular preparation of laddu, they want to be a contributor to that. As they say, we are considering it as an offer of our devotion to Lord Sri Venkateshwara. When you look at these sort of lines, do you think that somewhere this was because of the pressure that was mounted by the BJP? They even, spoke about the Congress being anti-Hindu. Is this an indirect, soft Hindutva push of sorts?
Deepak, let's make a few things clear. When C.T. Ravi and Nalin Kumar Katil decided to put out this entire Twitter war, saying that Nandini ghee is no longer going to be used in laddus, they were misinformed because it was during the BJP tenure, and Bhima Nayak also himself, who recently took over as the Federation Chief, has clarified that the years 2021-22 have not seen any supply of ghee because of the competitive pricing and the bid procedure that the TTD undertakes. One, because for us, primacy is also, while we are also, please allow us to have devotion to our temples and institutions, whatnot, we are also devoted and far more committed to our farmers than anything else. That is the one stand that is clear, and I'm sure Sir will also clarify the same thing. The second thing, however, is the sort of bad blood that went around after the BJP was caught in their lie. So the BJP got caught lying because it was in the BJP tenure that they'd stopped giving and started this anti-Hindu move, so per se, as they accused us of. But the sort of bad blood, to the extent that the TTD had to clarify that the quality has not changed and whatnot, this overture currently is to make sure that we do not see any sort of rifts. The KMF has had a good relationship with the TTD over the years, and now the possibility of collaboration is something that we are looking at. But the one thing you need to make clear on your show is that supply of ghee for these laddus stopped during the BJP tenure, and it was not some so-called anti-Hindu conspiracy of the Congress. And even as of yesterday, Bhima Nayak's clarification has been very, very clear. And now if they've made an overture towards the temple, it is in good faith. We will see if we can contribute, but let us remember that we are a cooperative that caters to 25 lakh farmers and families. So we cannot also, for the sake of a competitive bid, lose out on the welfare of our farmers. And I'm sure Mr. Bhima Nayak is very, very well equipped to address the needs of the farmer in this, Deepak.
But Aishwarya, interesting you say that, because the TTD chief, just a couple of days ago said that in 2023 there was no tender at all for KMF. So, where does the question of competitive pricing and them not able to, not being able to keep up really come into the picture here?
Deepak, okay. So Deepak, the clarification also that has come out from Mr. Bhima Nayak is the same thing, that in March 2023, when they opened for a bid, the minimum price of which you could even enter was something that was not competitive enough for us to even come in at. And in the previous bid in 2022, I think at 396 at the price that it was, we were L3. And because for them, it is an open tender process where the names are not known, but then after quality checks and whatnot, you pick and choose. Karnataka and KMF, and when was in March? Who was in power in March? And who headed the KMF in March? Is Balchandar Jarkiholi. So in March also, it was the BJP's decision itself not to take part in this competitive bid whatsoever. So please ask Mr. Prashant why he was indulging in such anti-Hindu, anti-Tirupati Devasthana behavior.
Okay, let's bring in the BJP. Mr. Prashant, the Congress is clearly saying that the onus lies on you on multiple occasions, but you've been leveling all false charges up until now.
Deepak, you look at the turn of events. Now, Congress at last has admitted that through the KMF chairman that it is a non-political issue and it is something to do with devotion. Because we have mentioned on many occasions that the offering of ghee for preparation of laddus in TTD is more of a sentimental sentiment attached to it, because there are lakhs and crores of devotees from Karnataka also who revere Lord Venkateshwara. So therefore, that was definitely there. The sentiment was being hit when Bhima Nayak comes out and says that, look, we are not participating in the tender. And the other aspect of it being that Congress being pro-farmer is completely wrong, because under Kisan Samman Yojana, what the Narendra Modi government was giving 4,000, Congress has stopped it. So Congress cannot make a statement that they are pro-farmers. And even now, let them admit on record that the entire 3 rupee price hike which has happened for the milk is
But what do you make of the charge, Mr. Prashant, that it was not the Congress, but it was the BJP that didn't participate in the tender? That's the statement that's coming in. And, when you look at the tender process, it came in...
Deepak, let me answer that. It is not about participating in the tender, because in the past 2 decades, wherever the TTD and KMF have collaborated, even in 2019, 2018, and even probably as far as 2006 also, whenever they have supplied, it has happened through proper procedure laid out. At no point in time, any special shops were laid out for KMF or any other bidder. The process is clear. The L1, L2, L3 will be scrutinized. Then the testing process happens, and only then.
No, but you're talking about devotion here. Yes, so people in Karnataka, visit Tirupati a lot. KMF has had a long-standing relationship, but how does e-tender? What does an e-tender have to do with devotion here? Because that's an aspect that the BJP brought to the fore. I want to really understand this, because clearly the TTD is saying that we put out e-tenders out there based on the pricing. That's where we select the lowest bidder, and then we go ahead with the purchase of ghee based on the quality that they're actually giving out. So where are we really drawing this comparison between devotion and competitive pricing? On the other hand, even a tender.
Now, considering the facts that you have brought out now, if KMF has written a letter to TTD seeking an appointment, which means it's a eyewash, which means they have not participated, they will not be able to supply. It's only probably to hoodwink people then. All of us would want that Nandini ghee is used in Tirupati Laddus. Is there anybody who's going to oppose it? No. But if the procedure of TTD being a organization which is controlled by the government has certain rules and procedures to be followed, unless they in their executive committee meeting or any other meeting that they have to conduct in accordance with the guidelines and the law permit KMF to enter, we are happy that KMF will be supplying ghee to TTD.
I have another
Just
question.
that
I
they
have
did not
another question,
participate
Prashant.
now,
I'll
and
come
now
to
they
you.
want
I'll come to you. I have
come out
another
and say that
question. I want to
BJP
ask you that, but before that, a quick rebuttal from Aishwarya, and I have another question to both of y'all. Aishwarya, go ahead.
Deepak, the statement that he just made was all of us would be very happy if Nandini and KMF could supply ghee to them. And because the BJP is the vanguard of the Hindu Dharma, according to the BJP, why is it that in the previous 2 years they have not supplied? Why is it in March? And remember, KMF chief then was BJP MLA Balchandar Jarkiholi. And it was Bhima Nayak who came in very recently. So the BJP spokesperson might as well get his timeline straight. Because even in the March tender, and remember this, these tenders happen once every 6 months. The BJP government successively had 4 to 5 tenders that they did not participate in. And when they were caught out on their lie because they wanted to target us for not having taken part in that tender, they are now turning it around. And because of the aspersions cast and the bad blood created between TTD because of their political ends for the BJP, the KMF has made positive overtures to see if we can collaborate. But primacy is still for our dairy farmers. And unlike the BJP, which owed dairy farmers over 700 crores of support price, which it had withdrawn, or the fact that lumpy cow disease affected tens of thousands of livestock and they gave 0 rupees, my government is committed to not only my farmers, and I do not need a lecture on Hindu Dharma from a party that for 5 successive tenders did not allow Nandini ghee for the Tirupati Laddu. ಊರಲ್ಲ ಏನಂತೀನಿ ಭಗವಂತನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, but you were also wondering about your bottom line, weren't you, BJP?
Deepak,
Okay,
may I?
Prashant, quickly to add to what Aishwarya said, I need another clarity because yes, it's your turn to of course reply, but I want to add one more issue here because when the entire aspect came to the fore that this time there would not be Nandini ghee that would be used in the TTD laddus, one of the few reactions that came in from some of your leaders is that this is directly proportional to the price rise that the Congress has brought into effect. Now the question here is you're looking at a tender that was not participated at all. So where does the question of even this particular price actually coming to the picture?
Deepak, now what's happening in the present thing, they are not able to participate because of the impediment caused due to the price hike, and by the price hike of 3 rupees in milk and consequent rise in the ghee prices, they may not be able to make up for that bottom line to whatever extent. It is not a question of 1 rupee or 2 rupees which is going out. What they have to understand is they are setting apart money for installing Rajiv Gandhi statues, but they were only looking at bottom line when it came to supply of ghee for TTD. You are setting apart money for Rajiv Gandhi statue, but not for this. You are talking about profits here, but Rajiv Gandhi statue will come up. Your DCM does not have money for development activities, but Rajiv Gandhi statue can come, and you can utilize IAS and IPS officers for your personal parties and for personal activities, and now you come back and say that TTD.
Let's stick to this issue, Mr. Prashant. Let's not once again deviate and beat around the bush because we are not talking about IAS officers. We are talking about the issue as far as this letter that has been written now from the KMF to the TTT. Once again, opening a channel of communication.
How the Congress is indulging in these activities is what I'm bringing out. Why are they doing it? They're only trying to divert attention. They're only trying to divert attention from their promises and about price rise. Price rise is an essential issue today for the citizens of Karnataka are facing. To divert that issue from the citizens of Karnataka, Congress is indulging in this thing, saying that now they're wanting to go ahead, write a letter, probably to say that BJP was against it. Definitely not. Congress has always been into appeasement and nothing else. They have never cared for the Hindu majority, and we are not even getting on to the Hindutva debate here. I'm not even wanting to debate with Aishwarya on what is Hindutva and whether
Okay, you're talking about the Hindutva debate, but as far as this letter itself is concerned, well, Prashant, now I want to understand what this is. Whether this is a soft Hindutva push by the Congress, or is this the Hindutva that you're talking about? Because in the letter they also say that we will be very happy to be a part of the TTD in preparation of Laddu preparation of Lord Sri Venkateshwara as we are considering it an offering of our devotion. Now the question here is, the BJP is bringing in devotion here. The Congress as well in their letter is talking about devotion, but the TTD chairman is saying, well, it's not about anything, but the fact that there is an e-tender, it's a process to be followed. It's about the bidder, the pricing that they come up with, the quality. So, the Congress as well is bringing up devotion here. Aishwarya?
You know,
Are you falling into what the BJP, is it a trap that the BJP said? Are you falling into it, or can you explain this?
Deepak, let's make it very simple, because obviously even 3-year-olds could understand better that the BJP is caught on a lie, but apparently nobody seems to call out the BJP on it. So in reality, when it comes down to devotion, every single time that the KMF that was headed by a BJP MLA had a chance to basically show their devotion, they did not. 5 successive tenders were let go, and these tenders don't happen once in a blue moon. They happen once every 6 months on a tender process, which the BJP did not participate in. First fact. Second fact is, even when the previous tender was called, the Congress was not in power. BJP did not even bid. So ask them where their devotion was. Third, the genius there talks about saying this is not about Hindutva and Hindu. Then why did Nalin Kumar Katil and what C.T. Ravi or one more of their functionaries talk about this being anti-Hindu and whatnot? And third, even if we have hiked the price by 3 rupees, all 3 of those rupees are going to the farmers who are suffering from the lack of work or the lack of support price under the BJP government. And last, if we are able to strike a deal with TTD over this, doesn't that make us greater devotees? Doesn't that make us greater vanguards while also safeguarding our farmers' interests? If I had to simplify this even more, I would assume I'm talking to toddlers across the screen, because I have made it very clear that the BJP is lying, but apparently nobody seems to accept that.
Well, the BJP at multiple points we have questioned them, Aishwarya,
senior
where
citizen
they have,
affairs,
of course,
Deepak,
spoken about in the beginning. It was the
Deepak,
price rise that led to the
Deepak,
tender.
give me a moment
But
to
I asked you a question,
I
Aishwarya,
said
which
him
you, of course,
after the tender,
clearly
Deepak.
went through
Give me a
it,
moment to
because when we are talking about the aspect
Deepak,
of
give me a moment to
no,
reply.
my question to you. One second, Prashant. One second. Because to Aishwarya, there was one particular question whether you two are falling into the trap which you at the beginning denied. Or said, from the beginning when Mr. Katil's tweet came in, we saw rebuttals that came in talking about whether, the BJP are real Hindus. And now you're writing a letter talking about devotion. The question that I'm saying, the TDT is not talking about any of this. They're talking about pricing. They're talking about e-tender. They're talking about competitive prices. I just asked you on that, and you're not answering on that aspect at all.
Answer that. The fact of the matter remains, because of the bad blood created, where there were aspersions and a lot of news about the quality of the laddus and how apparently KMF had commented about it, this overture was made in good faith, one. Second, the Congress has categorically said what? That at no point are we going to give up on our farmers' interest. Why would you paint that with a brush of communalism or Hindutva and whatnot? And third, let me tell you this, even now when Mr. Bhima Naik goes and has discussions, if we believe that we are able to have a price that can be worked, because there have been times where we have fulfilled procurement, even though we haven't done the tender, where part procurement has been done, we will look at collaborating as such. I have answered your question very simply. It is a bottom line argument. It is for the betterment of my farmers.
We are short of time. Let's bring in Prashant for a quick rebuttal. Prashant, what is wrong in the letter as the Congress tries to make an outreach, because they're saying that you failed to even bid on multiple tenders? They're at least doing this outreach so that something can be done for the sake of farmers and the brand Nandini.
Deepak, the greatest irony is that the senior citizen across your screen is talking about, Aishwarya, I'm referring to you. If we are toddlers, you are a senior citizen, mind you. So, the senior citizen across your screen who was talking about the, devotion and other things. The greatest irony is that Congress being devoted and standing for Hindus. It has never happened. You look at any controversy which has happened, Congress has never stood by it. So be that as it may, this is only a tactic to hoodwink people to say that...
Well, quickly, I don't have too much time, Mr. Prashant. Do you think that this outreach program works for the people or not? Or do you think that, do you find a lacuna in this? Quickly, Mr. Prashant, I don't have too much time.
No, I'm telling you, Congress has never stood for farmers. They're only now talking...
Mr. Prashant, quickly, do you think this outreach program helps the state, helps the brand?
Rupees which is going into the farmers' hands in Kisan Samman Yojana, which this government has removed it. The farmers were getting 4,000 extra, apart from 6,000 given by central government. This government has removed it for the farmers. And they're now making issue that...
Okay, but you're not answering my question, Prashant. How do you really look at this outreach program? How do you really look at this outreach program? The letter being written to the TDT now, how are you reading this now? Is the
This is
BJP
only-
satisfied or do you think that it's an eyewash? What is it?
See, I repeat again, KMF supplying to TTD is good and we have no qualms about it. But Congress trying to bring out or come out as a champion cause of Hindutva or devotion is totally wrong. Congress can never be on this side of the coin at all. They're always for corruption and appeasement and not for this at all. Congress can never be the champion of causes of Hindutva or India for that matter or anything pro-farmer. They've
Right.
always been a family-centric party, dynasty-ridden party.
Okay.
So therefore, they can never make these claims that they're trying to help out farmers. They've always been anti-farmer all through their 70 years of
Right.
reign what they have ruled over India. It is on record. You can check out. We can have a detailed debate on that.
Okay.
Point by point rebuttal to
Okay,
say
okay,
how
okay,
Congress
Prashant, we are
has
really
always
short of time.
misled
We are
and
really
failed
short of time. I
farmers.
thank both Aishwarya and Mr. Prashant for, joining us on this debate as somewhere, the BJP continues to mount, pressure over this particular issue, even as the KMF has somewhere come out with an outreach. They want to have dialogue with the TDT. They want to promote, brand Nandini is what they say. Let's see, of course, in the coming days, how things really unfold. We're going to be slipping into a very quick break. On the other side, news and updates continue. Don't go anywhere.